Okay. We'll need a blanket for this practice. And a block, let me grab one. Strap would be helpful. So props in your yoga practice can be very useful, helpful. Just a nice, sturdy, stiff blanket, anything will do. And blocks don't have to be yoga blocks. They can be anything that looks like a block or acts like a block. You could even use your water bottle. And a strap can be a towel. You get the picture. Just make do with what you have. These yoga straps are helpful because you can loop them, but it's not completely necessary to have a yoga strap. So let's start seated. And I like to sit on something comfortable, like a blanket. It also props my hips up just enough that to the point where my knees slope downward and I have some ease in the low back and some ease in the hip joint socket, especially if I'm practicing early in the morning. I've just gotten up and maybe my muscles are a little bit more stiff. And we'll just start with some movement here. Shifting side to side, and notice how you feel in your own body. Take some circles forward, inhaling, back, exhaling. Reverse that action. Back, inhale forward, exhale back. It's good to get the circulation moving, blood flowing and pumping through the body. Next extension forward. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Inhale. And exhale. And then just stretch it out and exhale, hug. Side to side. You want to get a little bit experimental here, curious, just to see what feels good in your own body. I like to take it up, over, cross the hands in front, and then back to the other side. Back in. Yes, that feels so good. You want your whole body to just wake up to the morning and take the hands behind the hips. Press through the shin, lift the hips a little bit, and then shimmy right back down on into a cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do this with a little more forced breath. So on the inhale, it's through the nose. The exhale, it's through the mouth. And then we'll speed it up. Going for a solid minute. So when you feel like you want to give up or pause, just take a moment to rest and then jump back in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We're already about halfway. Use the hands against the knees to powerfully open the heart and then steady yourself as you go back. Hands can be an ally on the shin. And more. Clear the energy. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, raise the fingers. Press the palms to the sky. Hold the breath in. And exhale out the mouth, let the arms come back down. Give a big shoulder roll, forward, up, back, and down. And then let's cross the legs. Bring the hands forward, bring the legs back, and into hands and knees. Hands and knees position. Inhale forward into a cow. Exhale back. That. Now this could just be done very lightly right here. If we don't have a lot of movement, just concentrating on the center area. That cow with some movement into a child's pose and then coming forward. You can choose what feels good to you. That presses the wrist, it opens and strengthens the arms. If your body is not quite ready for that, then just stick with the cat-cow sequence right here. You'll always have a choice to do what feels best in your body, best for you today, and doing your best is good enough. In fact, it's better than good. It's better. It's the best. Always seeking the path that feels purposeful. Coming into a downward facing dog, turn the toes under, lift the knees here, and then continue that movement forward and back. I've got really tight calves at this point. So bringing my heels towards the floor, you can see they're still hovering a little bit as the tightness in the calf. I'm not going to force my heels down, but I am going to start movement here. I can feel more space and gently rock forward and back, opening up the calf muscle. And the next time we come forward, let's bring the knees back down to the earth, sit back on your heels. Make a fist and rotate through the wrist. You just want to take care of the joints here. Coming back onto the hands and knees. Stretch the right leg all the way back out. Kickstand, and then we're just going to open the arm. Load it all the way forward. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, tap down. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale, raise, bend the knee, reach behind, clasp the top of the foot. And let's take a bow pulling pose. Opening the heart and chest. If you're not touching the foot, maybe you're just reaching for it, palm open. So you start to feel that inside out heart movement. Yeah. And then as you release, tap down, reach forward. You're going to come all the way up into Parigasana. Take a gate pose. Bend over. Deep side bending stretch. Come back through vertical. And plant both hands back to the earth. Right foot to the floor. And get a little pulse action here. I'm going to lift my left knee, pushing the floor away. You really stretch the right calf. Press the heel towards the earth. Just enough pressure and that it feels good. And then come all the way into a downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right knee to the earth. Kickstand and open into Vasisthasana, side plank. Stretching the left arm over the ear. Full range of motion. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch and extend. Fingers and toes away from each other. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Last time. Lift, bend the knee, hold the top of the foot and press back. Again, inverting the heart, filling the lungs, taking a breath in and out. And release. Keep the toe to the earth, square the hips back to the floor, and then give some pulse action. I'm going to press down through the top of the foot. I'm stretching the shin on one side of the leg, or on one leg, and the calf on the other, opposite leg. Come all the way into downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank, both knees coming to the earth, and then sit back on your heels. You're going to be upright through the torso. Flip the palms. All right, so the fingertips are facing backwards. And then you'll just bring the hands to the floor. You're going to stretch out the palms. And I'm going to round the back, bring the shoulders back. Press the fingers into the earth. And I'm getting a full bodied stretch through the wrist and up the forearm. Yes, that feels really good. To release, and the elbows, pull back, and then make a fist, rotate through the fist. You want to be really gentle as we coax the wrists and the muscles that support the wrist in your forearm. We support those to get stronger and the wrist to get a little more flexible to an extent. Okay? You don't want it to risk pushing into the joint. All right, let's take a downward facing dog once again. Toes turn under and see how that feels. Let's take a feet wide as your mat, and walk the hands back towards your feet. Give a little pressure back through the hip. Open the posterior chain. Lengthen the side body, bend the knees slightly. Ooh. And then bring the hips right over the heels. Put your left hand open to the right side. You do a whole full body opening this morning. Bend your left knee. You're looking at the ceiling, and then straighten it. You're looking at the floor. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale, unwind. Bring both hands to the earth, right hand underneath the forehead. Shift side to side, and then we'll unfold. Left arm to the sky. Bend your right knee. And then hold the waistline. So straighten. Inhale. Open the heart and chest. Exhale, bend. Again. And slowly release that down to the earth. Give a little shakedown. Spread the knees. Slowly roll up off of the mat. Shoulder roll down. We're in a standing. Lifting. We'll do a little more to open the side body. I forgot gate pose on that second side. Oops. Okay. Over to the right. That's okay. We'll balance it out. Over to the left. Yeah. Straight up vertical. Lace the fingers. Press the palms to the sky. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Forward fold. And the knees to get there. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk it forward, downward facing dog. Again. Bend the knees and take a frog dog. Ooh. Chest towards the thigh, a little bend or spring in the knees. When you're ready, step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing, palms together at your heart center. Pause for a moment, link the fingers together, place them over the heart. Vajra Pradama is where the knuckles are crossed, thumbs extended, unshakable trust mudra. It's my favorite, one of my favorite mudras, which is giving a sense of confidence and trust in your own heart, your own belief system and values. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, take a forward bow. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Forward. Okay, exhale, downward facing dog. That chaturanga is going to be from my knees right now. I'm a little bit tired in the arms. From here, step or jump your feet to your hands. Into your exhale, inhale, half lift. Exhale, hold in. Inhale all the way to standing. So that's our series A. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do series B. So we're just getting the sun salutations. And inhale, reaching. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga. So I'm going to bring the knees to the floor, let my arms warm up a little bit. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Step the right leg through to the top of the mat. Coming into warrior one, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back. Chaturanga again. We have a lot of these, so just warm up to it. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Left leg steps forward, top of the mat. Bring your back heel to the floor, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back. High plank, knees to the floor, lower down slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Ooh, yes. Stretch it out. Keep up with it. Step or jump your feet to your hand. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, float in and down. Bend the knees deeply, weight back in the heels. We're coming to Utkatasana, powerful pose. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Oh, prayer wheel circle. Let's just rotate through the wrist. Your hands a break. Your wrists a break. Then bring the arms down to your side. Inhale, Utkatasana. We'll start here. Chair pose. Float the arms back, coming up on top of the toes. And inhale, back to chair. Exhale, bear chair. Up on the toes. Inhale here. Let's go one more time. For balance, stamina, strength. Heels back. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. Plant the hands. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. So that's getting a little bit stronger. Exhale, downward facing dog. The name of the game is to build strength from where you're at. Right leg to the sky. Inhale, step through. Warrior one. Plant the back heel and come all the way up. Try not to push or thrust the hips forward or sink in the low back. The back heel is pressing down. You're pulling the ribs in and really lifting tall. It should feel vertical. Nothing in your low back here at all. And then we'll just take a bow forward. You're going to hold the warrior one stance. And then come back to vertical. One more time. Then open up into a warrior two. So that's spinning the back heel just a little bit so the feet are at right angles to each other. We're going to stare forward out over the front fingertips right here. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bend. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. And then come all the way up, bend your opposite leg, and come into Skandasana. So we're Stretching the inner thigh, heel to the floor, toes up. Ooh, yeah. And then come back into warrior two. Windmill the arms to the earth, step back. We'll take chaturanga. We're working the legs, strengthening the hamstrings, strengthening the muscles that surround the hip. Downward facing dog, second side, left leg lifting, reaching up, stepping through into warrior one. So press your back heel to the floor, raise up high in a vertical position. Again, make sure you're not sinking forward in that back thigh bone. The thigh bone is lifting up and towards the back wall, all the way down through the heel. Bow forward, exhale. Inhale to vertical. Exhale, bow forward. Into warrior two, so we'll come overhead, rainbow style, and then looking forward out over the front fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight front leg. Shoot through the ball of the foot. Exhale, bend. This time coming straight vertical here, and then point the toes or flex the front foot. And come into Skandasana. So we'll bend one hand on a block or the floor. Can be really helpful to support this posture as you open up the inner thighs quite a bit here. Come back through to warrior two. Both arms to the floor, flank the foot and step back. So your hands are right underneath the shoulders. You're going to propel yourself forward, bend the elbows and lower down, inhaling. Upward facing dog, hips never touch the earth. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Unless, of course, you're in a low cobra. And they would touch the earth. Oh, yeah, stretch it all the way back. Full expression in your own body. And then when you're ready, step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, hop lift. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees, weight back in the heels. Utkatasana, exhale, hands to heart. Ooh. Shake it out. Make a fist and roll the wrist. We're going to do this again. We'll just take it into some add-ons. Inhale, let's come into, again, Utkatasana. This time, open to the right side and a little twist through the waist. Coming back to center, inhale, sit deeper. Exhale, open to the left. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, center, exhale, get a little deeper to the right. Inhale, ooh, hips back, weight back in the heels, twist to the right. Inhale, and now both arms back, lift into a balance. Lower the heels, that was a little easier this time, one more. Lower the heels, lower the hips, and then take a bow forward. Yes, inhale, half lift. Straight legs, hands on the shins or blocks, flat back. That's the posture right here, tabletop. And then you plant the hands, step back, high plank, chaturanga. The knees can come down or not, but keep the hips elevated as you lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Work on that alignment. Watch the alignment. Do it correctly so we're not pushing into the shoulder or collapsing in the hips, and that we're building strength. All right, from here, right leg to the sky. Ooh, bend the knee, open the hip here. We'll bring the right knee in towards the nose. Inhale, send it back. And then over to your left elbow. Inhale, send it back. Exhale to your right elbow. Inhale, send it back. And then come all the way through. Warrior one, once again, coming all the way up. Exhale, bow forward. Into warrior two. We'll take that rainbow arm, reverse the warrior. Oh, back into warrior two, straight into side angle. We're touching the earth or elbow to the thigh. Either way, you do what is right for you. 3 breaths, and then we'll come right back up into warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, skandasana style. All the way back up and into triangle, trikonasana. Full breath in, full breath out. We're going to really work with the hamstrings today. So bring the left hand to the earth. Step your back foot in slightly and turn the toes so they're facing forward. And this is where it's really helpful to have some blocks so we can straighten the front leg. Your blocks can be at any height here. That's helpful, useful. See how flat my back can get with my blocks in a higher position. And I could also lock that in and bring the arms back. And then take it all the way forward. Ooh, so we're in pyramid pose. Hands to the blocks, straighten the front leg. Inhale, lift halfway up. This is the harder part right here. And then we're going to revolve. So we'll take the right hand to the waist and revolve through the spine, just like a barbershop spin. I don't know what that's called, barbershop pole. Yeah. And we spin and then take the right arm to the sky. Possibly, you don't have to. You bring your hand to the foot if you're really feeling extra challenged today. And then bring both hands to the earth. That's called twisting triangle. And yes, it really puts you in a pretzel. Let's step all the way back. Take another vinyasa where we chaturanga and come into upward facing dog and then back into downward facing dog. Those 3 positions put together are called the vinyasa. And then we're ready for the other side from down dog. We'll take the left leg and send it to the sky. Bend open through the hip if you'd like. Then we're going to touch the left knee towards the nose as you come forward. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged down dog. Cross it under, knee to elbow. Inhale. Stretch it up and back. And then knee to opposite elbow. Ooh. One more time, all the way up and back. It takes a lot to move this whole body. Step through, let's come into warrior 1. So we pick it all the way up. Exhale, bow forward. But movement is the elixir of life. It's the motion is the lotion. Right, coming into warrior 2. Right here, reverse the warrior. Inhaling. Exhale, pause. Inhale, come back through warrior 2. Side angle. This time we'll touch the earth. We'll bring the right arm just in a vertical alignment. Definitely moving and shaking things up right here. Let's come all the way back up to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg and come into skandasana. So you'll move that heel into the earth, digging it strongly, and open the right knee slightly. Let's come back into a vertical alignment, star pose. Take the arms out and then shift the hips and the ribs in opposite direction. Coming into triangle, trikonasana. Full extension. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to take this into a pyramid pose. So if you'd like, there's another way into this. We can upright the torso. Take the hands to the waist, step your back foot in, and then turn all 10 toes. Now we're facing the direction our hips are facing. And that's going to help. And then hinge right at the hip. That helps even more. Bring the arms in jet airplane. Now we're flat back. And we're pulling the ribs in, tightening through the belly. And then take it to the floor. This is where you want to have your blocks handy. If the hands aren't reaching the floor, don't strain the back, but just bow in. We're going to take the right hand to the block and we'll spin it now, rotating, revolve, triangle. Every Trikonasana. Beautiful. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. And exhale, bring the left arm to the earth and step back. Ah, yeah. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back into a downward facing dog. And then bring the knees to the earth. Hips to the heels. Take a couple breaths here in a child's pose. And then we'll work a little bit more through the shoulder area. Sometimes we get stuck here. Let's come into the forearms and knees, and then press into the hand and lift the hands and knees. Then you're going to lower back down and press back up. See if you can get that action to happen. Up, lower down, hold here, turn the toes under, come into dolphin pose now, and give a little shift forward and back. Now this might be really hard on the shoulders, so just pause wherever you're at. If you'd like to try the push-up, just both hands to the mat, lift the elbows simultaneously, and then we lower back down. Just like a hydraulic, so you really got to work to land lightly, not heavy. So, my triceps are already definitely tired. Let's take a break, bring the knees to the floor, sit back on the heels, breathe in, breathe out. And pull back again to the forearms again for balance, strength, and stamina. Toes turned under, lift the hips. Let's come in to dolphin. But bringing the shoulders behind the wrists so they're not up here. You're going to push the floor away with the forearms, shoulders back, and then walk the toes in just an inch. And if you like, you can stay here or possibly lift one leg to the sky and hold it here. With 3 breaths, so we're building that immense strength and flexibility in the shoulder. We'll lower the right leg to the earth. We take the left leg up to the sky, keeping the right leg as straight as possible. And sometimes it's bent. You can straighten the left leg and then see if you can straighten out the right leg as well. And just hold. Yes, it's definitely hard. It's tough for me too. And we'll come back down and release it all the way down, forehead to the earth. Big breath in, big breath out. Walk the hands back up. So you're seated. We'll take the hands behind the hips here. Press down through the shin, curl or tuck the tailbone under, opening the thighs. So we get a nice deep stretch through the front side of the body. And then lower the hips back down, coming into a high kneeling position. And across your mat, you could bring a blanket. That's just to support the knees, especially if you're on a hard surface. So we'll take the hands at the base of the spine here, elbows tucked in, lift the heart. I want my heart to stay even with the beam or even with the hips, instead of coming back and sinking and then lowering into the low back. I want to lift the heart, pull the waistline back, inner spiral, hips forward, heart forward and up. And then I'm going to reach back with one hand, possibly the other, or keep both hands on the base of the spine. And take Ustrasana, camel pose. Been a little while since we've done that one. And then to come out, inner thigh engagement, lift all the way back up. Hands to heart center, toes turn down. And sit back on the heels again. We shouldn't be feeling anything in the low back. If you are, we just went too far, too fast, too soon. Let's bring the feet forward and extend all the way out. Hands facing the side wall, bend the knees, and come up into an upward table. Exhale, tap the hips to the earth. It feels really good. Shoulder blades on the back, lift again. Inhale, exhale, tap down, make any adjustments, improvements, and then lift the hips again. Staying out of the shoulder this time, hold the lift. Hold the lift. Take some breaths in, breaths out, and then lower back to the earth. Nice. We'll take the feet slightly forward, hands back on the knees. Draw the navel to the spine and then lift the heart upward. We're going to release the hands from the knees and hold this V posture. V posture. I'm going to use a blanket because that actually hurts my tailbone. There we go. V posture, and then lift the feet. There we go. Extend your right leg and bend. Extend the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Let's go back to the right. You can always tap down or just keep both knees bent. It doesn't have to be both legs straight. We're just going to go for 10 breaths, holding in whatever position you can hold for 10 breaths. So I'm using the legs as leverage to get more deep into my core, my abdomen. If you feel it in your low back, then you're not deepening your core or you're leveraging the abs. You're actually dipping into your low back, and that's not healthy. So you want to keep the knees bent, feet on the floor, and just lean back until your abs start to kick in. Okay, that's it for me. Let's come forward, wrap the elbows around the knees, lift tall. Inhale, exhale, make it small. Forehead to the shin. Breathe in, breathe out. And release. We're going to finish out with an inversion. I know you're thinking we've already done some inversions. We have done a lot of inversions today, but we're going to finish out with a headstand. And this does not have to be with your feet in the air. So supported headstand. We'll make a horseshoe shape with the hands. We'll bring the elbows in a triangle shape. The elbow right even with the shoulder, not out like this. See, I can see my armpit. Hug it in. You shouldn't be able to see the armpit. Then my head goes back of the head right into the thumb pad. Again, don't display the elbows wide. Keep them in line with the shoulder. That is headstand, inverted. And now we'll bring it to the floor, supported. Again, making that horseshoe shape. With the hands, tuck your pinky finger in. And bring the head, fontaine. It's above, that's in front of the crown of the head. Don't go back. You don't want to be tucking the chin at all. When we come into dolphin, you're pressing through the forearms. And you have a lot of mobility here through the shoulder. Then walk it in. And then possibly bring it into a headstand. Or forward balancing actually. So I have a lot of forearm strengthening here. One leg to the sky. And then possibly bringing that one down and then lift the opposite leg to the sky. So the legs do not have to come up in tandem, right? Especially if you're building strength and flexibility, if you're starting this journey, we don't want to be going right into a headstand. without having proper alignment, proper strength, proper flexibility. Okay, then moving out of that, double the fist, lay your forehead on the fist, rest the neck, shoulders. You take it right back up into a downward facing dog, which is also an inversion. Right here, a downward facing dog is an inversion. Shake the head, nod the head yes, and shake the head no. Shake the body. Then we'll come back down through to a seated posture. I hope that was fun for you. Extend your right leg out in an L shape and then bow forward. We're bringing the chest, squaring it with the straight leg. And bowing in, Jhana Shirshasana. Opposite hand wrapping around the outer foot. Well, it's going to help open up the side body a little bit more. Let's bring it back up. Guide the bent leg over the top of the straight. Hug the knee in and spin it. Again, just releasing some of the hip and then a low back. As we come out of a headstand and we do those back bends, the low back is going to feel some tension there. We're just going to release it. And then come forward into a figure four, L shape. It might be helpful to have a block underneath the blade of the foot here, and also a strap wrapped around the ball of the foot. And gently hug to center. I feel this in my hip. I'm feeling it in my hamstring as well because I'm flexing the foot so strongly. But if I bow forward a little more, I can start to feel that in my low back. Now, it's not going to be possible for every body just because of the way we're built and maybe the way we've moved in the past prevents that from happening thus far. So do what you can do. Yeah, and then shrug the rest, right? Let's come out of that, shake the legs out, go to the second side, right foot in. We're taking L shape. Jhana Shirshasana, lean forward, out over the straight leg. Opposite hand, just going to come around and just give a little hook around the outside of the straight leg, a foot. That can be helpful to guide you forward a little deeper. Not helpful if you can't reach the foot, so reach the ankle. Reach where you can reach without forcing. We're in a relentless force all day long, seemingly. We put a lot of stress on ourselves to perform, to ante up. This is not the place to do that. This is the place to be kind, compassionate, feel something, move in a way that feels appropriate given what you have, your experiences and what you've gone through, even the past days or nights or weeks. Okay, so we're going to come forward and drop the knee open. So we can see that figure four. Now, if I'm looking straight down, I'll bring a block underneath the blade of the foot and lean forward. Opposite hand wrapping around again. Oh, that's just more for my hip. Now I really feel it in my hip. And some of you are going to feel it more in your hamstring. That's okay. That's okay. Let's come out gently and slowly, stretch both legs forward, and we'll sit upright. I want you to see this from the side. You know that actually, like I'm seated right against the wall. My head, shoulders, low back, all against the wall. And we'll bring the arms forward, drop the arm bone in the socket, and then reach forward. pull back, reach forward and pull back. Reach forward, hold here, drop the hands wherever they land. This is perfect. And then take it a little bit deeper. Breathe in, breathe out. We want to make sure we're listening to our body, not over compensating or trying to force anything. One more breath in this deeper forward fold. And then when you're ready, you'll take it back up and lower all the way back onto your back. Take a moment, 3 or 4 breaths, just to realign the spine to the ground. A happy baby would be an excellent choice here. We've done a lot of inversions, including down dog, headstand, which is definitely an inversion, pretty big one. And then we've done forearm balancing. And now we're going to come into Shavasana. So make your way with your legs and arms resting into the earth. Another option is to bring the feet wide and knock the knees together. That would be cheapy style. Arms wide, make sure you're warm. So if you have the AC on or a gentle breeze or something going on in the house, we've cooled down a little bit. Make sure that you're warm and you address the comfort level. So when you are in Shavasana, it can be very relaxed, and not forcing or having to do anything, but just really allowing the effortless of the posture to take over. Effortless in your muscles, effortless for the skeletal alignment. You're aligning to the floor. You're aligning to what is, aligning to peacefulness. 2 more minutes. Release and relax fully and deeply into the floor. The whole body release, relax, rejuvenate, renew. What's going good with this day? Now 1/2 minute more. Pure, full relaxation. You can either stay here for another few minutes in restful, peaceful pose. You can begin to move slow and gentle movement through the rest of ankles, drawing the knee to the chest, roll to a side lying position on your mat. Pause here, entertain an acknowledgement to yourself in some way, shape, or form with deep gratitude, loving what is unfolding in your life, and loving what is unfolding in your heart. And when we recognize and can be present to all things, acceptance to all things, doesn't mean we have to live with it. It means we accept the circumstance so that we can change. We accept the circumstance so we can celebrate. We accept what is happening because we are worth it. Let's come to seated posture. Again, Vajra Pradama, unshakable trust mudra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Great love, trust, and respect. I honor my heart. Choose my inner teacher. Place the palms together, Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. And many blessings to you.